ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा येनाक्षरसमाम्न्यायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम् वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थः प्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ॐ. Namaste everyone, welcome to class. So for our warm-up exercise, I pulled up some guna sandhi exercises here. So we can also just remind ourselves about guna sandhi. So you'll need your sandhi book for this class. You also need your other book. We're going to talk about sarva-śabdha as we go along. So guna sandhi, it's when we have a or a meeting ik, right? Ik is I, U, R, L. I, U, R, L. So you can think of, it's mainly the simple vowels, right? The simple vowels being a, I, U, R, L. But you don't want to include a, because a plus a is a, right? You don't get guna sandhi there. So it's all the other simple vowels except for a. So maha plus indraha. When I a or a, it can be short a or a. Right here it's a plus e makes it a. So mahendraha. Maha indraha becomes mahendraha. So a lot of people's names you'll hear someone say Mahendra. Same thing, nara, short a, plus e. Nara plus ishaha becomes nareshaha. Nareshaha. Again, someone's name, Naresh, right? In Hindi, we get rid of the last, the visarga, so Naresh. Surya plus udayaha. So now we've akara plus ukara becomes guna is o. Suryodayaha means sunrise, right? Surya, sun, udaya, rise. Okay, number 4 is a little bit more complicated. We'll come back to that. Number 5, amara plus indraha becomes amarendraha. Just like number 1, amarendraha. Number 6, jnana plus upadeshaha becomes jnanopadesha, becomes o, right? Jnanopadesha. Ready? Mundaka plus Upanishad becomes Mundakopanishad, right? That's why it's like that. It's Mundaka plus Upanishad becomes Mundakopanishad, right? So that's guna sandhi. Okay, number 4. Number 4. Maha plus rishihi. So we have akara and we still have one of the simple vowels, right? We've rit. So then the guna for this is a. So both get replaced by a, but then it has to be followed by repa, that ra. So it becomes maharshihi. Maharshihi, short akara, right? Because even that long, it gets replaced by short. So short a and then repa, that ra. So maharshihi. So great sage, when you put it together, Maharshi. So let's continue. Any questions so far? Only blank faces. That's okay. Yeah, we did do something called Guna Sandhi. Okay, no, everyone's doing great. All right, let's chant our Maheshwara Sutra. Om A I Un Rilik E Ong I Ouch Haya Varata Lan Nyama Gananam Jabhanya Gadadash Jabagadadash Kapha Chatata Chatatav Gapai Shashasar Hal Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani. Okay, so usually we do Sandhi first, but let's change it up a little bit. Let's do book 1 first. We're going to go to our foundations book. We're going to look at sarva-śabdha in neuter gender. That's page 100 in your new book. I'm going to pull it up here. Page 100 in your book 1. Okay, 1 second. Okay. So on the screen and on your book in page 100, you'll see ending pronouns in Napumsaka Linga. Okay, sarva-śabdha. Now we've seen sarva-śabdha before, right? We saw it in masculine. Sarva is what we call a sarvanama, right? It's a pronoun. Sarva specifically means all. Okay, all. Now, if you look at the note on top, among sarvanamas, ending pratipadikas in neuter decline as hybrids of jnana, like we saw before, and sarva in masculine. The first 2 cases are like jnana, while the rest are like sarva in masculine. So you'll see the color differentiation on the chart here, right? Oh no, you don't see any because we've already learned both of these. But that first 2 cases will be like jnana. 3rd through 7th will be like sarva in masculine. Okay, so you can repeat after me. No, let's do it together. You can say it with me, okay? Sarvam, sarve, sarvani. Sarvam, sarve, sarvani. Sarvena, sarvabhyam, sarvaihi. Okay, this one's a little bit different, right? Sarvasmai, just like sarva in masculine. Sarvasmai, sarvabhyam, sarvebhyah. Sarvasmat, sarvabhyam, sarvebhyah. Sarvasya, sarvayoho, sarvesham. People always miss that one. Sarvesham. Sarvasmin, sarvayoho, sarveshu. He sarva, he sarve, he sarvani, right? Because it has to kind of look like that first case. Okay, so just take a second to look at the chart, see if anything from past memories come back with sarva masculine. Right, it's almost like Rama Shabda, but you see some differences, like right 4-1 sarvasmai, 5-1 sarvasmat, 6-3 sarvesham. Instead of Ramanam, you get sarvesham. And then 7-1 in Rama would be Rame, but here it's sarvasmin. Right? And then 6-7-3 sarveshu. Okay. So that's why we learned Rama very closely, because still a lot of it is mostly Rama. But now there's some spell differentiations coming along, right? Okay. So some other akaranta sarvanama, so ending pronouns are anya, another, other, ubhaya, both. Ubhaya is only in dual. So you only see 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2. There's no 1, 1 of ubhaya. There's no 1, 3 of ubhaya. It's only the dual forms will come in for uba. Purva, before or east. Anyatara, one of the two. Eka, one or someone. Vishva, all. Itara, another. Para, after another. Swa means oneself or one's own. Some of these we've seen before as well. Okay, now there's that note. As for anya, anyatara, and itra, their forms in 1-1, 2-1, and sambodhana are anyat, anyatarat, itarat. Okay, so what that means is this 1-1 and 2-1 of anya, anyatara, and itara, you add the takara. So it's anyat or itarat. Okay, then it becomes, then you go back to, it'll be anye, anyani. Anyat, anye, anyani. Anyena, anyabhyam, anyehi. Keep going with me. Anyasmai, anyabhyam, anyebhyah. We're now in the fifth case. Anyasmat, anyabhyam, anyebhyah. Sixth case. Anyasya, anyayoho, anyesham, anyasmin, anyayoho, anyeshu. He anya, he anye, he anyani. Okay. So I see there's some questions. While we do some questions, you can pull up the exercise number 20. This is in the back of the book. That's page 178 in the back of the book, okay? So just while we're looking at some questions, you can flip to the back. Or, yeah, okay. Nilimaji, hold on one second. Let me try to unmute you. Okay, go ahead.
Just an example, if sarva as a napumsika lingam and sarva as a pullingam, how do you differentiate? I mean, we know the word pullingam, say father, like pita, pitaha, something, pitamaha, grandfather.
Right.
So, and then you have a sarva napumsika linga shabda. Unless you know that this is napumsika linga and pullinga, you can't, sort them out what linga it is. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So basically anywhere from 3 downwards, right, you won't be able to differentiate. But you can also see, oftentimes it will be substantiating another word, right? So you'll say all of the trees, or let's say all of the fruits, sarvani palani, right? We know that palani, we know that's neuter. And so because it's an adjective saying all of the fruits, we know that that will probably be neuter as well, right? Okay, but you also see the ani, but let's say we say palaihi, right? You say sarvaihi, palaihi, but you know it's neuter because it's qualifying a neuter word. So that's one way of knowing. But if the word is by itself, yeah, from anywhere from tritiya vibhakti to saptami vibhakti, we won't know the difference. difference. We just have to see the context. But
say Rama goes with his friends, right? Rama mitra saha gacchanti, something to that effect.
Yeah. So, sorry, I didn't understand that.
Rama goes with his friends.
Yeah, Rama goes with his friends. Yeah, so we can do it with the same with Tritiya Vibhakti. Yeah, we can say, that they all go along with their friends, but it doesn't matter the gender at that point, right? You can still figure out the sentence.
Okay. Then that would be Rama goes with all his friends. Then it'll become sarva friends.
Yeah, so so it would be sarvaihi mitrani, or sarvaihi mitraihi. Sarvaihi mitraihi. Yeah, other goes along with his friends. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So there's a question about eka, and eka is, you get all of the forms of eka. Okay, so you get singular, dual, and plural. I'm trying to remember, there was a differentiation between the translation in English. So if it's, I think it's, I'll have to check up on this, but I think if it's singular, then it's just one. Yeah, I don't want to say anything wrong. I'll just check up on the English translation, but it does get declined in all 21 forms. Yeah, so that it does get declined in all the forms. I'll just have to remember what we talked about with the difference in translation. If you go to sarva in masculine, I think she makes a note there about the translation, but we can find that out. Can we use sarvam with asti, or will it be santi? We can use sarvam with asti, right? Because sarvam is singular. So sarvam asti, or sarvam bhavati. Everything exists, right? But unless you say sarvani, then you would say santi, because it's plural. Okay. So we'll go back to, we're going to do the exercise in the back of the book. This is page 178, exercise number 20. I'm going to just pull it up here. So we're only going to look at sarvam right now, right? You see how you can do this exercise with all of the different pronouns, but we're just going to look at sarvam. The first one's easy, right? Dukkham anubhuyate. We're trying to fill in the first word, right? So it's going to qualify dukkham, so it's going to mean 1-1. It is sarvam, right? Sarvam dukkham anubhuyate. Sarvam dukkham anubhuyate. We also, let's just translate it for fun. We don't need to write out all the parsing it, but anubhuyate, right? If you look up anu plus bhu, it means to experience. Okay, now you see yakara and atmanepada, so it's going to be karmani prayoga, right? Anu plus bhu to experience, lat lakaraha karmani prayoga, pratama purushaha ekavachanam. Okay, so what is experienced? Dukkham. Dukkham, right? Dukkham is dukkha-śabdha, akaranta, napumsakalinga, meaning, and it's pratama vibhakti, ekavachanam, karmani prathama to anubhuyate. So we have to be able to do this practice. You should be able to go through all of this in your own mind, right? So dukkham is experience. Pain or sorrow is experienced. Now there's a word qualifying that pain, sarvam. All of the pain or all of the difficulty is experienced, right? All the unhappiness is experienced, yeah. Dukkham can be unhappiness, it can also be pain or sorrow. Okay. Let's go to number 3. Let's skip one. Okay. Blank annat shariram jayate. Can you tell me in the chat what is the fill in the blank without looking? Oh. Fill in the blank. I like that we're doing fill in the blank. Yeah, so there's some good answers coming in. Yep, it's going to be 5-1 because it's qualifying annat. So it is sarva-smat, right? 5-1 of sarva-śabdha, sarva-smat. Okay. Annat shariram jayate. So jayate, born. What is born? Shariram, the body is born. Born from what? Sarva-smat annat. From all of the food. Okay. From all of the food, the body is born. Okay, so we have this karyanam karanam asti. Fill in the blank. Karyanam karanam asti. Okay, so there's some answers coming in. Okay, so 6th case of sarva. Sarvasya, sarvayoho, yeah, sarvesham, sarvesham. So you have to get out of your Rama habit. That's a good habit to have, Rama habit, right? But now we're in sarva, right? So sarvesham karyanam karanam asti. So karanam asti, the cause is, so the cause of what? Cause of sarvesham karyanam. So the cause of all products exists, is. If we go from, yeah, we can say there's a cause for all the effects. That's an easier way of saying that, but using our normal way of translating. There's a cause for all the effects. Okay. Let's just do number 9 and then we can be done. Oh no, we already did that. Okay, let's do something different. Okay, let's do number 10. Blank prakarane etad vakyam drishyate. Now you know my tricks. Yeah, it's not like Rama Shabda, it's not like prakarane, or it's not like Jnana Shabda, Jnane, right? It's not, sorry, yeah, I don't know why I kept saying Rama Shabda. It's not like Jnana Shabda, it's not Jnane or prakarane, right? It is sarvasmin prakarane etad vakyam drishyate. So etad vakyam, this sentence is known in all of the prakaranas, in all of the sections. Okay, it's not. Okay, it's not moving. You know, I'm thinking about yeah, okay, let's continue. Okay, so we still have a few more minutes. Let's switch over. Does anybody have any questions before we switch over to Sandhi? So the homework would be just to fill in the blanks of the sentence we didn't do, okay? So I think that's, most of them. Yeah, most of the sentence, you just want to fill in the blank. If you want to translate it, you can try to go ahead and translate it. But, the main point is to practice this sarva. Okay, there's one question here. Har Prasad ji, go ahead, you're unmuted.
Yes, sir. Why is that? Can you go back to the screen, please?
Yep, sorry, yep. Yep.
Yeah. Why is that, for example, example 6, Mitrani Gachanti is shown like this for 7 times?
Oh, yeah. Why is it showed 7 times? Because we're going to learn after sarva, we're going to do eka, anya, para, tad, etad, kim.
Got it. Okay.
So let's look at the translation for ekani. So remember we said, what is the translation of eka plural? So some. Some is the translation. So if you're saying like 1, it would be ekam. But if you're saying ekani, some of them go. So like a part of the group. Okay, you can look at all of these. So let's pick another plural one. Ekesham karananam. So there's a cause for some effects. Yeah, so some would be the translation of eka plural. That answers our question. Okay. So actually, why don't we change it? Why don't we fill in the blank for 2 things, for sarva and eka? Okay, so you can do those 2. Yeah, sarva, eka. We also, anya you can do, and para. All 4 of those actually. Sarva, eka, anya, para. All 4 of those you can just fill in the blank. So you don't need to translate all of them because that'll be a lot of homework then, right? So sarva, eka, anya, para. Okay. All right. So let's just, I'm going to switch over to a Sandhi book. We're just going to introduce the topic. So if the book is not there in front of you, don't run away. We're just going to start with it, and then we'll really go into it next time a little bit more deeply. This is right after Guna Sandhi. You'll see vrddhi-sandhiḥ. This is an ach. So this is around, I think, page like, I would say 47, but my page numbers are different. So you have to tell me which page. It's somewhere around there. 49, page 49, you'll see vrddhi-sandhiḥ. Okay, thank you. 49. Okay, so here you'll see, look at this right here, okay? When avarna, so avarna means what? A, short a, or long a. It includes both. So a or a. Is followed by H. So what is H? Not like H in second letter of Shivam. It is H, we have to look at the Maheshwara Sutra, right? So it includes the first one, A, O, I, Ow. And we do not include that last chakara. So 4 letters are included. A, O, I, Ow. A, O, I, Ow. So all the diphthongs, they're vowels, but they're pronounced with 2 parts of the mouth. That's why they're called diphthongs. Okay, so we're going to put so I just ordered it slightly different. than the Maheshwara Sutra, but that makes sense, right? A, I, O, Ow. Vriddhi. Vriddhi is a specific name, right? If we remember guna, what was guna mean? Guna means 3 letters. A, O, right? A plus E is A, so that's a guna letter. A plus U is O, so that's a guna letter. Okay. Now here are the vriddhi letters. A, I, Ow. Okay, so let's write that in here. Okay. A, I, Ow. Those are the 3 vriddhi letters that will replace both the A and that diphthong. Okay, one of the A, I, Ow. A, I, O, Ow. Which one of these vriddhi letters becomes a substitute is deciding according to the sthana, where it's pronounced in the mouth of the original letters. Okay, so let's see one example just so we know what we're talking about. Avarna is on the left side, so it can be short akara or a. On the right, we have H, right? It can be any one of the 4, A, I, O, Ow. Right here we have A. When both of those meet, right? A is garro, A is garro palato, you're going to get a garro palato, which is I, one of the vriddhi letters. A plus A is I. And this one's easy because they look the same. They look very similar. Just one has a feather on its hat, right? When it meets akara, it puts a feather in its cap. So you can remember it like that. So, for example, cha plus eva becomes chaiva, chaiva. Tata plus eva, tathaiva. Yeah. Okay. How are we feeling? Thumbs up, thumbs down? We need to slow down. Okay. We're feeling okay. Let's just see one more. When I have avarna, right, preceding, I have a or a, and I have o on the right side, following para, both get replaced by ow. Right? That's the vriddhi letter. Remember, vriddhi letter is those 3. A, I, ow. Right? Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to move the screen so much. So, jala, ogaha becomes jalogaha. Ganga plus ogaha becomes gangogaha. That's a very fun word, gangogaha. Because you have avarna plus o. And these also look the same. They just get, it gets a feather in its cap. One more feather. So vriddhi is the feather sandhi. Okay, so vrddhi-sandhi we saw, we will review it next time, and there's still a few more parts to this, so we'll continue with it next time. Homework is to do that sarva-śabdha with those 4 words, those first 4 words. Okay? Now I see, okay, so let's just take a 5-minute break and I'll take questions in between. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Okay, so we'll come back at 8:10.